everybody, and welcome to. Oh, there we go. Welcome everybody to another special edition of the Clem and Claw Show with your hosts, Clement Okufo and Claus Webb, and we are the Clem and Claw Show, second and fourth Mondays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 Pacific Coast Time, 8:30 Central Time Zone. Second and fourth Mondays, y'all know what it is. From the parts unknown, I ain't got nothing much to say, man. So let's get into it. You got anything
Sir,
you want
yes,
to say?
sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, distinguished members of the media, and honorary members of the royal family, we have a special guest all the way from another part of parts unknown. we have Mr. Nelson Rojas. Yes, ladies
Evening,
and
gents.
gentlemen, we are now welcoming Mr. Rojas. Yes, there we go. All right. Yes. He is the Uber content creator, CEO, the Grand Pumba of Girls Next Door Brawls
Yep.
Productions. Yes, I think I got the whole next.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
yes. So we thank you so much for coming on the Clement Call Show. Thank you for having you here. Again, we just want to get right to it. You know, what made you want to get into this zany what we call catfighting?
Well, you know what? I fucking got into it like when I want to say 11 or 12. I fucking taped Godzilla movie. And my dad actually took the fucking tape that I taped Godzilla with and taped this, like, cowgirl wrestling, like, feats of strength and wrestling tournament on TV, and I accidentally saw it, and I've been hooked ever since.
Wow.
Mm.
So now, so that okay got you started as a fan, but what made you want to take to the production side of it?
Oh,
Getting
dude,
produced.
like basically in my current profession, I'm actually an engineer, and after about year three, I came into like they were paying me actually a little bit more than I thought I'd be making at that point in my life. So I decided to kind of just live the fucking fantasy and threw a couple of grand at my first couple of fights. And yeah, here I am today
And
with a nice little side hustle.
Mm.
yes. Clem, you have a question you want
I'm
to ask?
trying to think.
You
So,
still got
I know your. So, what's your thoughts going into your first produced fight? I know that the girls are different and they were inexperienced, and you know what to expect. But what's your expectation going in?
Uh, like basically, I said bare minimum. I want to do at least 5 minutes, and yeah, like we'll go safely as you guys can proceed, but treat it like a real fight. And like I said, like you said already, I was very inexperienced. I had no idea how to like direct the fight. I should say, like basically, it was just kind of tossing two girls in a room, saying, "Hey, winner gets 800, loser gets 500. Let's see what happens." And a lot of girls took the bet, but even more got cold feet. So,
wow.
Hmm.
like the first fight was actually an accomplishment in itself, in that I got two evenly matched fighters. They both were said they were going to show up, and they fucking showed up. Like, I was talking to Clem earlier, and he was saying like how much cash he lost in certain fights, and yeah, you just you come up with stories in terms of how much cash have you lost trying to set up fights, and then the one fight after all that bullshit that makes it all like worth it and just kind of rekindles your interest in
hmm
just all the producing.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
always said these are minor miracles. when you
amen.
pull when you
That is
pull one off, the exhilaration is minor miracles. But one of the
Very
things I
minor.
will say is the energy that it can drain out of you. After a
oh
while,
100%.
you're like, oh God. I don't know if it's more of relief or joy when you get one done. So that would be, I guess, it would be kind of it's just a question that popped in my head. When you
Mm.
get a fight produced, do you are you more relieved or do you have joy?
I am well. Okay, so the relief doesn't kick in until like a day or two after I post the fight, just
Okay.
because I make a final cut and I send it out to X of course, and a couple of other guys that have been supporting me from day one. I say, hey, what do you think of this? And they'll say, hey, this is fucking great, or you know what, you need to cut out like that secondary camera angle that you have in there. Like
Mm,
it is distractingly bad, but otherwise good fight.
Yeah.
mm,
And yeah, just being able to get that level of feedback is kind of nerve wracking because you're like, oh god, I thought this would have been okay.
mm-hmm,
And then like an idea to put in like GoPros in the fucking room was that looks like shit. So like so you're kind of nervous, and then once you actually publish the fight, you wait for a few days, and then you see the sales start kicking up. Like you'll see about 100 sales in one day. It's fucking euphoric.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
what is your the biggest thing you learned, or some things that you learned between doing your first production and your second production?
mm,
first production, second production. I would say I learned to actually like set some hard and fast rules and kind of anticipate things that you would otherwise need. You do not think that you'd have to spell out to someone. Like I,
mm-hmm,
like I did not think that I would have to spell out no trying to scratch your eyes out.
mm-hmm.
Like that was something that I did not think I needed to spell out. So basically, I came up and over the fucking years, I came up with about six rules that I tell to every girl in each fight, and it has served me well from then until now.
Good, very good.
Yeah. Now, how often do they remember said
Exactly.
rules? Oh,
Oh, they don't like like basically every single one of my fights has had at least one rule broken.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but I do make it clear that there are some things that I will literally stop a fight over, and that's biting.
Yep,
mm,
Like
we agree with
biting,
that,
I will immediately stop the fight over.
as you should.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
agree. That's one of those things. No, man,
yeah,
I'm
Like
with
you gotta have a red line there. I mean,
even
just
as a yeah,
because,
even as a fan, that has to be yeah. That's yeah, that has to be the line. No, 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 no.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what it is about biting, but I've been seeing in the internet a lot more responses for people wanting biting. In fact, I
I don't get it.
do not. I don't get biting.
I don't either.
I don't get
Like
biting.
I can get like I get it on like kind of a rare, like it's kind of like a crotch attack, I guess, and that like it is a rare, desperate attempt to try and pull ahead. But then there's always a possibility of a chick taking it too far. Like
Well,
Yep.
you don't want blood drawn at all, and
yeah,
biting
No.
just amplifies that
yeah,
possibility so much that
Yeah, it does.
it's not worth it.
yeah,
It's just not worth it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
Ugh.
focus of it. I mean, to the point. I'm like, yes, it's cat fight, but you ain't gonna be like, you know, or whatever.
Yeah,
Want the
Exactly.
teeth part? It's like maybe the
a little
claws, but
too
not the
dangerous
teeth
right there
part.
to be.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, a little dangerous to be a little too dangerous to be sexy there.
What do we think
yeah.
about scratching? Is there when it comes to scratching, where's the line on that? Because I know there's some fights that if there's no holds barred, yeah, but where's the limit on that? As
Like
an opinion.
I pretty much banned scratching to the face.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but everywhere else is just fine. Obviously.
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
see.
so for a question for me is what are the requirements that you are looking for in a cat fighter? I know most fans don't ask this question, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it because I know you have all kinds of all the producers have different qualities and skill sets they're looking in their particular fighters. So, what are the basics that you're looking for in a particular
Man,
fighter?
Clem said it best at the beginning of the series, at the beginning of the episode was you want a girl that you at least that you at least get the impression that she understands what she's getting into. Like if she can't, read the question of like the question that you're asking her, or say, okay, give me your top colors for a bikini recommendation that are not gray, white, or black. because it doesn't look
Yep.
good under the lighting. Like
Bingo.
if she can't follow along with basic questions, then uh, I'm gonna feel bad about that just because there's no way that I can explain this to her that I would feel comfortable with her knowing what she's getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Understood.
at the end of the day, I mean, you have to like I like to operate off of like the kind of three C's: clarity, compensation, and consent. Like, if you are not 100% clear what's what's going to be going down, if you're not 100% happy with your compensation, then you cannot consent to this. Like,
Agree.
yeah, I have to be certain that you are 100% sure what you're getting into. And that rule has not only like helped me, but it's just gotten stronger throughout the years. Like, if I get any hint that a girl doesn't quite understand that this is basically a real fight and she's going to come into this laughing and giggling, she's going to have a bad fucking time. I'm going to have a bad fucking time. And I'm and like, no one wants that. Like, I
Facts.
cannot think of any fight that I've ever enjoyed that was one sided.
I agree.
Mm,
And especially with one participant that clearly doesn't want to be in it.
Yeah, I
mm.
agree.
Yeah.
And Claus knows
Yeah.
how I feel about that. I would say, Claus knows. I would say this all the time. I always tell people, like you said, please, before you enter a fight, know what you're doing if you're a fighter. It's
Yeah.
imperative because you're not only you wasting your time, you're wasting the producer's time, most importantly, and then you're also wasting us, the fans' time, also.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And like at the end of the day, win or lose, I want her to at least have quasi enjoyed herself because of
Correct.
how much she got paid. But I have worked with some girls before that have had just such a bad time that I've literally reconsidered whether or not I want to continue. I want to continue doing these. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
can
that's kind
understand
of
that.
yeah. That's why like yeah, they could be sure, but you have to be sure more than they do
Yep.
because
Yeah.
you kind of gain a second sense for in terms of okay, you do not understand exactly what's going to happen, and that's one of the benefits of like lasting for a while is that you accumulate a number of clips that you can send to anyone and say, hey, this is the full gamut of what you could expect,
Hmm.
and they'll watch them. And the girls that say yes, they are fucking down. And the girls that are kind of iffy, you basically push them towards saying no.
Yep.
Like if there's any hesitation, I'm gonna say it's probably is not a good fit for you.
I
Just on
Yeah.
the
agree.
basis of like, if you're not 100% yes from the get go, you're not going to be into this. Plain
Yep.
and simple.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Yeah. So wow, wow. Thank you so much. One of the things I want to do for listeners and our fans, I am going to post up here, and I'm going to be rotating it while we're talking. But I'll be posting up the links for the clips for sale that you can find Johnson's fights, as well as the loyal fans and his contacts. So I will be rotating those three among. So right now I'm going to start with the clips for
Thanks, man.
sale. So this give people enough time
Correct.
to
Correct.
write it down. I know sometimes on videos you can't just like copy and paste, but I will
Yeah.
do in the YouTube description. I'll put it in there as well once this is posted. I'll go ahead after recording, and I'll go ahead and post it there. So in case you happen to miss a letter or a dash or underscore.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask a photography question. Since you guys are
Yeah.
all photography people, how important is it? Not only is it the focus, how important is the viewfinder, the focus, and what's the other one? I'm looking for another word. How important it is to get the correct angles in your shoots.
Oh, dude, like that's also one of those things that just comes with experience. I mean, you can be filming the fight, but not actually filming the fight. That's like you don't want to film like basically someone's back
Yep.
and
Mm,
while while they're on top of another girl. So you can be filming that angle, but not get anything anyone actually wants to fucking see. So you learn to kind of focus on one girl and kind of focus on like getting her facial expressions and the action, and that's where your second camera person comes in because your second camera person can focus on the exact same thing but on the other girl.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, uh, that's kind of how you um, get good enough footage to have a compelling fight from both ends. Like, if I could pull out one example here, one S- Sweet Fight, for example, like
Yep.
all of um all of his earlier fights had like great focus on like what is the best view of this action
Yep.
in this current point in time. Like all of his Lexi fights, and maybe I just like really wish there were more fights with Lexi in them. But like huge
Mm.
Lexi fan, but Lexi's fights were his best work.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. My next question would be, what's your favorite tactic to see in the fight? You know, most producers have something that they really love seeing, whether they really encourage it or when it happens, they're like, yes, you know.
Oh God. That's easily the crotch attack, just because it's rare to see. It's rare to actually see it, and
Mm.
it's rare to see an effective one. Like
Correct.
that's kind of why ECNWC is my favorite producer, just
Yep.
because they were able to actually get those worked in at such a competitive angle. Like it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like one girl was like trying to get a bonus or something. It it felt, I don't want to say natural, but it felt like something that worked for the winning girl, and she just kept doing it.
You said
Yep.
as far as you said crotch attacks, you said?
Crotch attacks.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. Crotch attacks has been something.
That's a
yeah,
good.
um
bec-
That's a hot topic
we
one right
we
there.
I don't know how Clem feels. I know for me, I kind of went from really enjoying it to now way on the other end of the spectrum. The kind of like, I can, because I've seen girls that try too hard to do it, and it
Yep.
just doesn't come off as that.
yeah. Oh,
True.
dude, yeah.
True.
And
Facts.
like, if they can't do it, like in like a trying to force a submission fashion, that it just looks pointless.
Yes,
And
Agree.
like, I've never actually gotten a good one outside of like panty ripping on camera before, but I'm gonna put the bonus out there like this weekend and next weekend when I have quite a few fights lined up, and basically I'm gonna say, hey, there's like $300 that goes to the girl that can do like the best breast or crotch attacks and force a submission out of it.
Yep.
okay,
So yeah,
Okay, to answer your question, Kaiser, at first I actually liked it, but the way you explained it now, where sometimes the girls are kind of forcing it, it doesn't feel natural. I'm like 50-50. It depends. It depends on who's doing it and if you have
yeah,
experience doing it. There's
yeah,
no, in my
exactly,
opinion, the
and
newbies. In if like you said, when it comes to newbies, I would prefer the newbies not to do it. I would rather like
great point,
experienced people do it.
great point. Yeah,
yeah, because it's one of those things, man. When it's
Yeah.
done well, it can be done. It's almost like a steak, like I call it medium well. Most
Yep.
people either do it medium or well. They
Correct.
can't quite hit
Correct.
that mark. So
Correct.
it's like it just yeah, it's because if you see two girls and they actively and that's all they're trying to do, and I want to as Tilly on the show one time, and she talked about how
Yep.
it's so hard because it's such a small area of the body. You're trying to intentionally attack, and it's like it's not like hair you got enough to pull or breath
yeah,
or
and
whatever. You know, it's such a small area, and if you and slide it around and you got oil on or you sweating or whatever, it just it
yeah,
doesn't work.
and like for the most part, it's not even that good of a tactic either, since it kind of
Right.
leaves her open to like her opponent using both hands on her torso and getting off balance.
Yeah, because it's like I've seen it and I was like, this is not working. So uh back to the questions. Who would be your dream cat fighter to work with?
Oh God, like definitely anyone from Sweet Flight early stuff. Anyone from EC and WC, Brittany especially, would have been a dream to work with. But I would say most of all, Lexi, and let's see, Lexi and Nikki from Sweet Fights would be on my current dream. Would be my current dream girls to work with.
Okay. That you definitely pick some winners. Definitely pick some winners.
Yeah,
Um, who would be on your? Let me see. Let me see. The next question I have, because I'm bouncing back and forth with trying to make sure I get everything showing up here. Um, what was
what
it?
was
Oh, how difficult is it? This is one of Clem's normal questions. How difficult is it for you to find women who actually want to do this?
once you actually get enough good credit in this niche industry, and especially with like strippers and other working girls, I think you said this at the beginning. Having a girl say, "Hey, you want to make some quick cash? I know a legit guy, worked with him before, or I know him," and yeah, that's how I got like over half of my current fighters was good word of mouth and just keeping up that good reputation. But like without that, it is so much harder. like starting out from scratch. Um, I guess if you knew some dancers or something, or some girls in the industry already, like that's a good way to get started too. But it's just starting from square one with no contacts, like it just makes it a lot harder, and it kind of shows in a lot of early producers' work that they didn't quite build up that rapport. I guess I should say.
Hmm, definitely, definitely, most definitely. Who would be on your? I know you mentioned a little bit about EC, NWC, but who would be on your Mount Rushmore of producers?
ECNWC, Sweet Fights, SoCal, just because like they really leaned into that crystal side of other fights, and like they are fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Then number four, who number four be? It would have to be Chaos Fights from Russia. I'm
Hmm.
not sure who produced those, but yeah,
Yeah.
those those Russian chicks were quite ferocious.
I'm.
Hmm.
I think I remember KO. Oh, okay. Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes. So I thought you might would have took well because you said Sweet Fights,
SoCal,
SoCal.
SoCal.
yeah,
So you said Chaos, SoCal, Sweet Fights, and
ECNWC,
EC.
ECNWC.
I
yeah,
thought
Oh,
and
you would have
okay.
put.
Chaos.
I thought you would have had Crystal as one of your four.
I really did. It's just a matter of like, man, I talked to a guy who knew the original producer, and he
Mm,
has some of the original cuts, and a lot of it just seemed so staged. Like it just kind of took the magic out of a lot of it for me.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
Really,
like,
from
but
Crystal? Okay.
well, so like I can think of a lot of good Crystal fights, but Chaos got me into the fetish way earlier than Crystal did.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but Crystal definitely is just on the basis of, in terms of intensity between like ECNWC and I guess SoCal. Like they were they were the perfect medium of like pretty hot looking women, but very girls next door looking.
Mm.
Gotcha. Yeah, 'cause when you said chaos, man, I had to think. I had thought of chaos in a minute. The Russian girl,
I forgot about that. I forgot about the
I
Yeah,
Russian
had
Sky Fight Company. I
completely,
forgot about them. It's
I
been
had
a long
completely
time.
forgot about them. I think for
yeah,
me
and
with chaos is like they didn't speak English, so or there was no English subtitles, so sometimes it was like,
There was
man,
not.
like what are they saying? Because to me, I always think good trash talk is always great. It's a good
yeah,
add in to have a fight. It's not essential, but it's good to have it. It's just that after a while, and I didn't know who was who because it wasn't like they label. Okay, this person is Elena and this person is Samantha.
Katya or some shit.
Right. And so unless you multiple fights of them, and hopefully they didn't change their hair color or whatever or stuff. It's like who's which, you know? It's like because if I like one girl more than the other, then I want to see more of her fights. I don't know which one I'm looking for. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh,
sometimes,
Right.
100%. Yeah.
Right.
Like basically I picked out which of my cast fighters were my favorites just by like their fucking hair colors. And when they changed it, you just didn't recognize them.
right? Yeah. So,
Right.
Yeah.
are you familiar with since you mentioned them? I would say the predecessor, and Clem knows these folks are near and dear to my heart.
Yep.
The Black Sea Amazons,
Oh man.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah. They were fantastic. They were
the
with
toughest women I think that ever walked the
DWW, right?
face of the earth.
DWW. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah,
there
they
was
were
that
fantastic.
offshoot to where
Yeah.
everything was full contact,
Yep.
and I was just like,
Yeah, the Cobra gloves.
oh,
Yeah, those were fantastic. They were so
them
hard to buy though. They were so fucking hard to buy.
correct.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
just the Black Sea era.
They
It's like
definitely.
they ratcheted up the violence to another level, and it was
They're
just
definitely
like
my top three. When I have my list of top three, they are definitely in there. Oh
the
man.
Oh,
Black
great
Sea
choice,
Amazon.
dude! Great choice, by the way, because like they picked out women with actual ferocity.
Correct.
It had some sort of skill. Like it was that medium of skill, but not overly trained. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like
Right,
they were like world class,
enthusiastic.
but yes, black belts
Yes.
or whatever. They just girls is like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here, slug it out, and try to knock your head off. You know, just
That's it.
literally knock
That
your head
was
off.
it.
And it just yeah, and just as Black Sea Amazon. So
Oh.
okay. Uh the one thing about Chaos Video, I always remember them when they did the fights in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it
Mm-hmm.
was just I was like, okay, that's why I was like, okay, that's different. You have to do that. You know,
Hey,
I'm in the
Russian people are
we
tough,
Oh,
ain't we
man.
ain't we ain't got no stuff. No,
Far
it was a
East, man.
construct. We don't know what
Far
that is.
East stuff. No, 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 no.
man, can I
The
go
snow.
back and revise one of my Mount Rushmores?
Yep.
Okay.
And okay, so bitch fight UK,
Okay.
like the British girls, they can scrap
Ah,
too.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, 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 yes. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
The,
they
one-
were fantastic. God damn.
yeah, the ones with the hay. I just remember that
Yep.
they had
Yep.
the hay
Yep.
and stuff on some of
Yeah,
those. So,
yeah, those were
yeah,
aggressive as hell. I love those.
yeah.
Yep. I'm
Ladies
trying to.
and
Yeah, go
oh
ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I did. He accidentally dropped off. So I was gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, we out. Yeah.
Yep.
Not,
Now that you you know what, now that you brought the Mount Rushmore, I got to think about my thing now.
yeah,
Now that he brought up his, I got
yeah.
to think what mine is.
Rushmore. I'm going to say,
You want to go first? Because I'm thinking about it.
God, I'm going. I
Oh, you
have to
want me
put
to
the
go?
Black Sea Amazons.
Oh, do you
They're
want to
my
go?
all time favorite. I
Oh man.
like Crystal. I definitely would want to talk to him more about crystals.
Yeah.
Um, I would say though, as far as in and out, what I enjoy, I'm going to say, for I think value, price point, attire,
Mm-hmm.
setting, just
Mm-hmm.
everything involved. I'm gonna be honest. I have to put Fighting Wildcats.
Mm.
I will put Wildcats on it because Fighting
Mm.
Wildcats to me with Maria and them just had a perfect balance of everything.
I agree.
It wasn't overly produced like backstories and stuff. They just
Correct.
got two girls. Okay, we're gonna go and fight. I know Catfight Haven was another one that I love,
Yep.
but I would take Fighting Wildcats over them. Who else would I put on my Mount Rushmore? Um, I would say I loved old school APL. APL probably before you
Yeah.
get maybe to like the 1300s or whatever.
I agree with
Like the
you.
old school girls like Fatu and the Dead and
Mm-hmm.
beautiful women that could just go.
Mm-hmm.
Monica and just
Yep.
they were just these girls could
Dude, we have
just
this list is hard. I'm not
wrap
gonna
up.
tell you.
I need one more. I got Fighting Wildcats, Black Sea Amazon. Now I've done two internationally.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say the last one I'm going to say, and I wonder how much of it was scripted, but I'm going to say because I think towards the end I could start to tell, but I love the look. Um, Catfight Angel for
Mm.
Holly and them.
Mm-hmm.
I really did like their look.
Mm.
I like their look. I like their presentation. Um, Towards the end, I can kind of tell it
Mm-hmm.
was it
Yeah.
wasn't as hard hitting
Mm-hmm.
as I would have liked, especially on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but other than that, enjoyed it. That will be my honorable. I'm trying to think. If I think hard enough, I might could come up with one more because Crystal was okay, but Crystal had a lot of archival footage that you had to
Yeah.
weave through.
Yeah.
Um, I would have put Carolina Catfights until they did that big article on Rolling Stone, and
Yeah.
then I found out how much of their stuff was staged. I had no idea that a
Wow.
lot of their stuff was staged.
I didn't
I
know that
was just
either.
like, shoot, yeah.
Wow.
So that killed it for me, but with
Wow.
them. Um, who else would I say? I'm gonna say hmm, I have to think about it. I because I would say I have Tilly, I have Reagan in. They definitely have done some great. Um, like I said, you got Steve that's out there. Um, I'm trying to think. Oh, I know who my fourth would be. Fat Para.
Yep.
Fat
Yeah.
Para. Fat
Yeah.
Para. I have to put Fat Para on them
He's honorable. Yeah. All right. So let me think about mines. Black
because
Sea
Fat
Amazons
Para.
is
If
yeah.
I
Fat Pharaoh
had
is
to,
definitely.
if I had to pick one to emulate as far as like what my stuff, probably my dream stuff in the perfect world would kind of look the closest to,
Fat
probably would
Pharaoh.
be Fat Pharaoh. Yeah,
Fat Pharaoh. So
yeah.
yeah, for me, I gotta think because, like you said, there's so many good cat fights on this list. Like you said, so many good ones. Uh, I am going to go ahead. Yeah, uh, yeah, California. Whatever you said, that one's on there. That's like four. ECN. What I
Who?
well, I don't know what I said. So give me a minute. I got to think, rethink. Okay, so here's my four. I'm a in no particular order. Let me think. Definitely ECN WC. Definitely that's in that list. Of course, the Black Sea Amazons is on the list. I'm gonna go ahead and put Cats Review, the original Cats Review. I'm gonna put them in there,
Okay,
and that's three. And I need one more. And I'm gonna go ahead and put Catfight Heaven in there too. This I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there just to be different.
okay.
Sweet Fights is
Um,
definitely an honorable mention for me. So
yeah.
is Tilly for sure. Those two are definitely honorable mention.
So Johnson, are you back? The
Yes, I
fourth and
am.
fourth.
Yeah.
And fourth.
Okay,
Dude, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
you're okay.
So we was going on. We was thinking about our own um uh Mount Rushmore because that was a good topic.
Outstanding topic.
Clem, you can go ahead and say what your four was again.
Okay, so I have in no particular order: Black Sea Amazons, Catfight Heaven, ECNWC, and what was the other one I said? I'm
You
trying
said
to
Cat's
think.
review.
And Cats Review.
Oh yeah. Great pick.
Yeah, I did the Black Sea Amazon. I have because I have them on there. I said the old school APL till
Yep.
about maybe anything past maybe I think it was like between 11 and 1200 is when it started
Yeah.
changing up. Like
Yep.
Nadej had passed away. You had
Yep.
Fatu, Monica, all of those girls back in the day.
Fact.
Um, like any of the APL, maybe up to about the 11, 1200s. I would say, what did I have? I said I had to have somebody marry. Oh,
I think
I
you say
said
you have
fat.
Wildcats. Was it California
Oh,
Wildcats?
and fighting Wildcats. I have fighting Wildcats.
Fighting Wildcats. I'm sorry.
That was the one with Maria. Now
Yep.
I have fighting Wildcats, and I ended with Fat Farrah.
Oh, okay. That's what it
Man,
is.
yeah. Do you know whatever happened to that guy?
No, we don't know. He fell off the face of the earth. We don't have a clue. We don't know.
Farrah.
Yeah,
Fat
like
Farrah. And the reason I like Fat Farrah probably because I would say my stuff, my dream was if I had to pick someone that I felt like I could emulate and come with something to that level of quality, it was going to be Fat Farrah because there was a rawness to it. Um, I love the clothing. Another one I had said was I would have had on the list would have been Catfight Angel,
Yep.
but the thing about Catfight Angel is the deeper it went, more with Holly and them, more and more I could tell some of it was like at least partially staged, or the competitive nature of it started. Just like now, the stuff she did with ECNWC, yes. But as she started doing her own imprint, it
Hmm.
started fading off. As far as the skill level now, as far as the outfits and the clothing and all that, absolutely loved it. The thing that I loved about fighting Wildcats was, as I was saying while you was out, um, the girls, like the girls, it was like fights and it was no frills. They didn't have to have no storyline or no backstory as far as why they decided to show up and fight. You
Hmm.
know, it wasn't like say Catfight Haven or some of the other ones where okay they're gonna do a storyline in the series and here's the backstory why these girls fight. Nah. They just show up. Marie versus whoever. Um,
True.
yeah, so it was pretty no frills. Um, and I would say Fat Farrah. Yeah, those would have been my four for my Mount Rushmore. But yeah, but that's like $100,000 question. Whatever happened to Fat Farrah?
We still don't know.
We do not know. One
Speaking of
day,
storylines, how do we feel about storylines and catfighting?
I don't like them. They just completely taking me out of it. I mean, I get that some guys like them, but I can't do it without busting out laughing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had so I've been conflicted on this because there's times, and I'm sure you probably have done the same thing. There's been times where I've seen the scene in a movie, and I'd be like, man, I wish they could have fleshed that out or let the fight happen longer or whatever. Like one that I use for example, bringing down the house, the fight that Queen Latifah, the lady in the at the bathroom. I would just wish that that had happened a little bit longer, or a little bit, like come on, Shaniqua, or whatever she called her.
Oh,
I thought that was kind of a funny fight. Um, I had during the I think this was during the I had a situation happen where I had one lady who was a stunt woman, and I had another one who was an actress, and they wanted to work on their improv skills. So, and then this is during the time when you had Empire was on, so a lot of women did the whole Boo Boo Kitty cookie fight. They always
yes.
had it. It took them 3 seasons. They had that knockout, drag out fight. So you have some ladies that grew up. This is before the whole baddies thing became a thing.
Hmm.
What is it, the Bad Girl Club and all that, where they just show up on reality show just to throw hands. It's like,
Correct.
look,
Correct.
I just want to take all of them and say, look, after F whoever got a bedroom or whatever, here's a mat. Y'all go and slug it out. Tournament style, whoever wins, you the baddest one. I
Agreed.
just be done at this point because there's no more storylines left. Y'all done stuff on islands, y'all done stuff on mansions, y'all done stuff on everything else. Just get in the padded room and just let them go. I'm tired. I'm tired. Because if they
Agreed.
want to sell the fight, fine. You can just sell the fight. And then, at this point, you might as well. Because I can make the argument they're towing the line closer to what we do than anything else. But
I
anyway,
agree.
I digress. I digress.
I digress.
And some of these women do have real beef. Some of it is just I don't know, like yeah,
That's rare though. It's like the holy grail of any good fight is finding legitimate beef.
yeah. So
This is
it's like
fact.
so what I did is I said okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I'll come up with the scenario storyline to where you'll start off. Now, the action has to be real, and just whoever wins, then this will be your line. Whoever loses, your line. We're not going to script that part. We just let it go and let them work on their improv and all that. It was beautiful. We did a situation where we took I don't know if you remember the barbershop series where
Yeah.
E was mad about somebody drinking the juice.
Yep.
So we did one where one of the girls like drunk the last little bit. Like, I got like one of them big old giant Kool-Aid like 1 liter things, and
Mm-hmm.
then like they had just a little bit of it, finish it off, and one of the girls used it as a prop in the fight. And so I was like, okay, it was. Uh, now, now I was trying
That's
not to
fucking great.
laugh, but the fact that she was so into character, it was okay. It just all right. Then it just. But some girls they want to have that. I'm dating myself when I say that old school dynasty moment, whether it was dynasty, soap opera. They just want to have because for some girls it's like something about ripping somebody's stuff off. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
know, whatever. But it's not my cup of tea. But it's just one of those things. We'll offer it from time to time. But some people, you have to get them warmed up to the idea because if like they all, it seems like in this day and age, they can tap into an alter ego like Sasha Fierce. Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, and
Yep.
everybody have these alter egos. Fine, come up with the name, and then you be that character.
Yep.
Whatever. And for some people, they feel like they live vicariously through them. So that's it. Because at some point, they're ladies at the end of the day. So they
True.
want to sometimes have fun with it. Okay, fine.
True.
I'm a guy. It may not do nothing for me, but it does something.
For
You
them.
know. So it just this is when I would say when the light cuts on is I had two ladies. They was just training and sparring, right? And it was like one of the girls was like, "Girl," she said, "I I need if I be a little rough on you today because I've been through a lot, going with my baby daddy and all this other stuff." Another girl's like, "Child, please come on. Next week it'll be my turn."
Holy shit.
And they just well it, and that's when I was like, "Yes," because it's like, yeah, yeah, for them to get to that, it was just, yeah,
That's fucking badass.
that was a
Yeah.
Respect
good
from
run.
both.
Yes, because it's like they understood. It's like, look, you know, because again, we're going back into the recruiting that we was talking about before we just recently. It just seems like sometimes with girls is kind of the funny because with a lot of producers, they don't like the women beating before they fight because they can become chummy and then that kills some of the
Yep.
sting
The
out of
brush.
it.
This thing.
Which I agree there is something to that. There is something to that. But too often, not what I've seen with producers is sometimes one girl be told one thing and one girl be told something else, and then when they show up and they realize, it just
Yep.
um like
Yep.
I like to do it more like press conference style, like we'll have like a Zoom call where all three of us go over. We go over all the rules, we go over all
I
the
like that.
regulations, so that way you both heard it at the same time, and that
Correct.
way, and I've had this happen.
That's a good idea.
And I've had this happen where one girl would come out and say, "Well, I didn't agree. No, I didn't know about this," or they
God
would want to
damn.
claim, "I don't know." It was like, "Did you not?" The other girl was like, "You was here. We was all sitting. Now maybe you was on
Exactly.
your phone and you weren't paying attention, but
Correct.
that is, and yeah, that's when you just be like, yeah,
I'm with you. I like the press conference. I like the Zoom or what's the other one? The Zoom
or have them come on the show
or come on
because
the show.
yeah, and come on the show because like I said, we like to offer this to any of the producers and stuff, the talent,
Right.
and especially if they're new because if it's somebody already seen, you're gonna have your built-in audience. Because the one thing I've noticed about fans is you may have a girl that you may think, she's okay, but you'll have some fan out there that just be a stand about her or whatever. Maybe she's remind them of an old girlfriend, or maybe her hair color, or they love redheads, or
Yep.
it could be just or she has freckles. It could be just the randomness of things, and they just just were attached to that fighter.
This is true.
And it just that sometimes now when they're new and nobody knows them, it's good for them to come on shows or do something the way to get their name out in the public so people can sit there and because a lot of sponsors, the biggest apprehensions of sponsorship I find is people just don't know the girl. They don't know if the girl's gonna show up,
Facts.
you know.
Facts.
Or if they
This is
do
true.
show up, did you enjoy it? Really just sit back.
True.
Amen.
Yeah, because I think on videos you had the thing where you had the girls talk about it like the day after. Like, oh man, that was a kick ass fight. I enjoyed it. Da da da. Going by the fight. That kind of stuff. All those things help. So I definitely salute you for that. Um, salute because for a lot of folks, the apprehension is they're going to show up and throw. That's the biggest thing. They can live with if it's a bad fight. It's just like you said, one girl came ready to fight, and the other girl kind of like, you
Yep.
know.
It
It's a
happens.
bad
Why
experience for
bother?
everybody overall, but
It
it's just
happens.
that we know for that girl that the one that came in, chances are ain't nobody gonna ever sponsor her again. They're like, oh yeah, we've seen this
Correct.
before.
And the thing producers are starting to realize as fans, we can tell in the beginning who's serious and who's not. We can tell.
Easily,
Yep.
yeah,
And
we
then
just
and
smoking.
dude, and it kind of sucks because you'll meet like you'll meet someone who made a fantastic first impression, who just blows smoke up your ass and says that they are ready to fucking fight. They want to fucking do this, and they fold. Like I had one
Yep.
girl that said she got out of
Chris
prison a
Laundry.
couple years ago, and like she did not do well. She did not fight like she had been in prison for 4 years. But
Oh, yeah.
She must
we
be
ended
on
up
minimum
dating for a
security.
year, but that was yeah.
But
I didn't let
wow,
her do any more fights after that just because I'm like, man, I
As my
I
as Claus
cannot
always,
think of
yeah,
who I'd put you up against that wouldn't just beat the hell out of you
as Claus always says, fight styles make fights, man. Everybody's style is different. Everybody has a plan until
uh,
until they get punched in the mouth, huh?
exactly.
right. I
Or in
would
this
like to
case,
know.
everybody has a plan until they hit the match. Then we'll see who's good at that point. So
I would like to know who is. I mean, how many of as a producer I call it the fatal foursome. The four reasons, the top four reasons of why somebody flake out.
yep.
I'm
Oh,
going to give you my four, and I want to know how many of these have you had. Because most
okay.
producers I mentioned this to, they have at least one. Some have two. Most of them have three.
They all know
And
how
every
for.
now and then again, I have somebody have all four. Or if they hadn't had the fourth one yet. First one is they overslept. Oversleep to the point they lose all consciousness, contact with the outside world. Okay. Two, their cell phone dies and to the point where they lose contact without they can't find a charger. The charger was frayed and broke. A cat.
Oh, I-
Face ID their phone and so drain their battery. Trying to listen to Pandora, whatever. Phone is just completely dead, and they just or God forbid they didn't pay the bill. That's a whole nother thing. Third excuse, they couldn't get there, like whatever transportation, whatever. But the transportation is still tied to the fact that they still didn't even bother to call. I be calling BS because I'm like, dude, you didn't even
Yeah,
bother to
goddamn.
call. It's
Shoot a
like
text. Just say you're not gonna
right,
show up. It's fine.
right, or like, hey, I can't make it. So hey, can somebody come get me? Because usually, with a lot of this, I try to make it give a half hour, depending on like, especially with local talent. It don't take you that long to get across from one side of town to the other. Okay, if we still got to spend an extra 20 minutes to go get you to bring you back, I still got to climb. Okay, great. And then the fourth one, somebody died. Everybody get ready to start a fight, somebody done died. Like I can look on my Facebook timeline on memorials and be sad every day because of somebody that I knew that died, or somebody I knew that passed away, or somebody that I knew who's next to kin and next to next, or the brother and next just died. And so, okay, I'm just sad, and now I don't feel like fighting. So
I mean,
somebody's
and
always dead.
more often than not, I mean, the excuses part is always just a way of them trying to back out and save face. Like,
bingo.
Right. But these are the four excuses I get the most.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I can look at my timeline, everything, somebody. But it's like, okay, once or twice, all right, grandmas. You only got so many grandmas and uncles and aunts.
True.
Every time we get ready to invite somebody dead, come on,
Yeah,
just say you don't want to do it.
yeah, dude. Like, I've had girls show up and basically like take 2 hours to get ready, and then her bone's like, "Fuck it, I'm done." Like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. But
Yep.
like in terms of if flat out excuses, I've probably heard the transport, the car broke down, couldn't get a ride bullshit. I'm like, God damn, like why did you tell me about this beforehand so I could have sent you an Uber or some shit?
True.
Right, because in this day and age of Uber, you that's literally no excuse. That is
There
like
is no excuse.
Uber for you. It's that's
Oh, you
not
can do everything. Uber,
Lyft,
Lyft.
Rickshaw, something.
Heck, you can take an Amtrak. If you need to take a train, you can take that too to get to your
Uh,
location. Come on now.
Yeah, but
uh,
like at the end of the day, I feel like half of the excuses that I've gotten were girls just trying to back out and save face, and that's why
uh,
I kind of include. I say, look, like I will gladly send you a deposit. I will gladly pay for your gas. I will gladly pay for the time that you spent planning this out with me. But at the same time, just be honest with me. Like at any point, you let me know if you don't want to do this anymore.
Just say it.
We, yeah, we just wipe our hands both and go our separate ways out, and I'll give you something for your time. Like leave on good terms, but at the same time, I mean, you have to have some kind of minimum expectation of professionalism. I
right.
mean,
Mm,
show up when you say you're going to show up, or something comes up, tell me. Like, and if you can't at least do that, then I feel like you're not going to treat the fight with any kind of seriousness.
Yeah.
correct.
What about time of day? I find my best success has always been early in the morning, like first thing in the morning.
Oh shit. That's a good idea. I've only ever done these in like the late afternoon or evening, but I feel like in like the later morning or early afternoon might be better since that's kind of the apex of your day.
Right. Just this is just yeah, just for me as a producer, most of the stuff I've shot because it's something about middle of the day, later of the day when they got time to really kind of think about it. It's like or other life stuff or just stuff come and they just and it seems like for me the later the day goes, the more of a chance of it not happening
I
for
Yeah.
agree.
whatever
Ooh,
reason.
even
You have
better. Yeah.
point.
Man, that's a good point.
It's something about waking up in the morning. Okay, I gotta be because it's like for example, and one of my better runs, I had a situation where the girls would come every other Friday morning. They would come in like 8:30, and they'd be done by 10:30, 10:30. 10:30 would be long, but really by 10. Stretch, do this stuff, whatever they're gonna do by 10. And what they would love to do is come get the money, and then they would go and get their hair done. You know,
Whatever.
11:30, 12. They would go home, shower, and get their hair done, and then they go out to the club at night. That night, and they would do that as part of their routine. So the way they looked at it, them fighting was like exercise to them, for lack
Mm,
of a better term.
yep.
um, so they can get that done and out the way, get the money, and they're using that money to go get their hair done. If that's what they want to do, and that's hey, whatever you do with the money, you want to get manicure, pedicure, that's fine with me. I don't care. But it seemed like that worked the best. Like they did that for like a whole summer, and it was beautiful because they were serious about it. We're gonna come in, we're gonna put in our work, we're gonna go throw some hands, and we'll go.
Correct.
And it's like anything that we try to schedule with someone, no, like late afternoon, evening, chances are maybe one of
Problems.
the girls will to pay the other showed up something for showing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or that's where when it comes to friend thing. Let's say one of them bring a friend with them or whatever, and they say, I'll take that money. Okay, the other girl they didn't show up, okay, and then next thing you know, we still got a match or something out of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
So
how do we feel about backup plans? Like, how do you feel? Yeah, when it comes to another girl not showing, is it important to have like backup, like a backup girl, just in case?
You try. I mean, in the fights I shoot, I typically only match girls that are within like 1 or 2 inches of height and about 5 or 10 pounds of weight.
Yep.
Right.
And just finding that first opponent is hard enough. But if I had the good fortune of actually finding as like a possible stand-in, then I'll basically say, hey, she's fighting this weekend. Her opponent might back out. Do you want to step in? If she doesn't, she'll say yeah. But unfortunately, like the original fight tends to go through, and then the backup girl has plans the next week.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Right.
because she was kind of hoping for that fight to go down that day, and she's kind of lost her enthusiasm after the first rescheduling, which is
Yeah.
Gotcha.
completely understandable.
Yeah, that's what the nuance. Again, talent relations
Yeah,
for
Yes.
somebody to handle
exactly.
all of that. Let me
Yeah,
deal with the
and
shooting, the editing, the lighting, the distribution, all of that.
Mm,
You just have a
mm.
yeah, and speaking of talent relations, I mean, like you got to be honest when scheduling shit like that comes up. I mean, like you kind of have to make clear, look, nothing might happen tonight,
True.
but I will keep you in mind for the next fight that happens, or you could fight whoever wins this one.
Correct.
Like, just you got to be honest about all the angles, or else the people you work with will like not take you seriously.
Correct.
And that's kind of something that you really want to avoid because if they get the impression that you're not taking it seriously, they're not going to take it seriously.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I don't have. I don't think. I don't think I have any more questions.
Yeah,
I
I've
have
talked enough. I'm
I,
sorry.
no, 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 no. You're okay. I'm just saying I don't have any more questions that's popping up in my head right now.
yeah. I was looking to see if I had anything left. I think yeah, because we had two questions left for our
All
interview.
right.
We have
Bring out the two.
what is your top five cat fighters? You know, that's out there.
Do we want to make it current or do we want to make it? How do we
Ooh,
want to go about?
Yeah.
your
That's
favorite all time five, your
Oh,
all
all
time.
time.
We'll do it
perfect.
like the
Okay.
we'll do it like Rushmore. All
Thank you
your
for that.
all time five.
Okay. Number 5 has got to be Jen from Catfight Haven. She has that amazing lion face tattoo on her left thigh. She looks fucking great on her.
True.
Um, Number 4, I gotta say Mila Rose.
You know?
Mm, okay.
Like she could be a little boring of a fighter, but it just her ground game is fantastic. And just watching her grind another girl down is
Hmm.
just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, I gotta say Gemma from ECNWC. Just because she was in a word fucking nuts. And like it really showed in her fights. Like she left it all out of the mat, even against girls that were like significantly bigger than her. She fucking threw down, and she was great to see.
Hmm.
Uh, Next two are obviously going to be sweet fights. I would definitely say number 2 is Nikki, just because she came out of nowhere, slapped the holy shit out of Mila, did a bunch
Facts.
of other fights. Yeah.
Facts.
And then number 1 has got to be hmm, I would say ECNWC. Let's see, Mackenzie. Like just because Mackenzie had like that girl, like true girl next door, like really hot girl next door look, but just bitchy attitude, mean as hell.
You have to tell me which one was kids. I is not ringing the bell. Who did she fight?
Mackenzie, yeah, she took on Jen in ECNWC's earlier matches, and I want to say she did like 3 more fights. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, just I
Hmm.
loved her. I loved her whole fucking girl next door look and just her like contrast of an attitude. Like she looks like someone's wife, but at the same time, like just brings it like a bar fighter.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay,
My,
go ahead.
no, go ahead, Clem.
I'm trying to think. He picked some good ones. He picked some really good ones. I'm not even going to lie. Okay,
What's
number five. I have to think. Number
okay?
five.
Somebody put a down thumb.
Oh, that's understandable.
What
Did
now?
somebody put a
I
somebody
think someone
do?
put a thumbs down.
I'm
Oh,
like,
not me.
I know I'm not touching it. That was weird. I'm like, I have never seen that. So I don't know if that's a new feature in an
Well,
edit that I don't know
It
about.
might be a
whoever
new
said
one.
thumbs down, I would love to hear your suggestion.
Right. That's why I was
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, I would hear that too.
it's all just a matter of opinion, dude.
right. It's like, but this is the thing. It's not. We don't have a set to be where it's interactive. Where
True.
the although there is someone watching, and so I guess that is a new feature. I'm like,
I
All
think it
well,
right.
is
it
a new
Well,
does
feature.
now.
to the
I
one dude
mean,
watching, what's up?
okay,
Cool.
yeah, it's
Cool.
like, okay. All right. Well, I guess somebody. All right.
Hey,
Well, Clem, they must have did a new update. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to read the updates because I was just
they're
in and
not.
just
Yeah, I
just
think it's a new update.
yeah, it must be a new update. 'Cause I'm like, okay, they said the widgets are back, but I'm like, I don't. Okay. Well,
Okay,
I got all right.
okay. I guess I'm gonna go with my five. Let me think for a minute. Okay, I'm
I'm,
gonna start with the ECN range. I'm gonna go ahead and say Brittany. So Brittany was in a couple
Ooh.
fights. One of her fights was Gemma, so that was one of them. She's been in a couple. Her fight versus Gemma, everybody knows that one. That one's
Oh
pretty
God,
much
yeah.
everyone knows about that one.
Best fight ever filmed.
Correct. That one, classic, very classic. So Brittany, Nadej is definitely on this list. Definitely got to put her in there. What a badass guy fighter back then. Claus knows about her. That woman will play
yeah.
no jokes. Her. So definitely her. Definitely Gen D. I agree with you, Johnson, on Gen D. So I got to put her in there. She's probably number three. This one was a badass until recently. She hasn't been doing anything, and that was Sarah Brooke. We just took over the place back in the day when she fought some better people. She hasn't done anything recently, but when she fought Mila Rose, another one of your people, she
Yeah.
fought
Best fight
Lexi,
anthology ever. I loved it.
and the other one is Lexi. Now that you brought that up, Lexi is sweet fights.
Lexi,
Oh,
100%.
what a badass! Oh my god, I dare to dream that one. If she didn't hurt herself against Sarah, I would have liked to see what had happened if those two had really gone. We never know, man.
Right. And
That one.
no, Lexi had that one. I did not know she had like a shoulder injury. So
I didn't either.
yeah,
I
that
think
that
was
sucked
that
to
four or
see.
five
But
I just did. Two, three, four. I think am I leaving one more? There might be one more person I need to add here. Who's the other one? Mm, let me see. One more person. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go back old school a little bit. I'm gonna say Lady Ellen. Anybody who knows fighting Wildcats?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going back for that one. All right, your turn, Claus. I'm done. That's my five.
Um, I'm going to say, I'm going to say, I gotta go with Gen D. Gen D is definitely a classic legend.
Yep,
I'm definitely gonna have the Edge on there because pound for pound, I think one of the best to ever do it.
facts.
Um, my I'm going to say Gia Love, just
Mm,
because Gia Love is a person, whether you love her or hate her, Gia Love, she is down to fight any person, any place, anytime,
facts.
anywhere. And
Facts.
there's something about the availability to be able to fight.
Yeah.
I got to something to it. The availability to fight. Um, Number four, I ain't putting, and kind of for a lot of the same reasons, I ain't putting Reagan on there. One of the
Mhm.
few people that actually gives her multiple losses,
Facts.
um, which is not easy to do. Um, Also, Reagan was another one who you wasn't going to be shortchanged.
Yeah, true.
Um, you wasn't going to be shortchanged to see her fight. Uh, Next one I have on the list, and I have to have her on there because I think is the baddest woman walking the planet, and that's Kim Lee.
Hoo-hoo.
Ooh,
Hoo-hoo.
Kim Lee.
great pick.
I mean, when you
Great
have a
take.
tattoo on your lower back that says
Great take.
"Born to Fight,"
Whew. Facts.
I, that's the only tattoo you have on your body. I think she might have one on, but I think she only has one tattoo on her body, and that's on her lower back that says "Born to Fight."
Oh, that's
When
a
you
great one.
have that,
That
she
is
just
a great one. Oh man.
Kim Lee, size, speed, stamina, strength, skill, the matter where's her smarts, her fighting
Mm.
spirit. Yeah,
Mm.
and just, she she's just it. Um,
You
I
got
think
any
if there
honorable
was a world,
mentions?
I think if there was a worldwide tournament, I think she would win.
I think you're
Like
right.
like pound for pound, I think she would win. Ariel X, I don't care who it is. Ariel X, Lakin, Sativa Miss.
Don't matter. She'll win them all. She'll beat all
I
of them.
think she will win walking away.
Wow.
Um, and then number five would have to be, God bless, Emily from Sexy Wife.
Yeah.
Sexy Wife
Oh my days.
was probably the most, for someone
Dominant.
who did not come in this in any kind of martial art, she picked up so much of the nuance from cat fighting, like off the rep. And she says
Yeah,
she
she
didn't
did.
practice it. She says she didn't train or any of this stuff.
I don't believe her on that, but yeah. Come on.
I There are some people that are savants to where it just becomes second nature, and you don't have to teach them; they just get it.
Yeah, she is
Her
savant.
to all of those stars that line, I think she was probably the most special talent
I
this
agree.
business had ever seen.
I
And again,
agree.
somebody that did not cheapen you any
No.
match she was in.
No.
You knew what you were gonna get. She is one of the few people she can win a match, and I still found it thoroughly enjoyable
Me
just
too.
because of just watching her. That's when you know you're great. When you get to the point that I bought this to watch you, not so
Exactly.
much. Most of the time when you buy a fight, you're buying the fight to watch the fight and see how these two, the chess game and all this stuff.
Right.
But she was so I would buy the fight just the strength of her, just to
Yeah, she was
watch her
special.
fight.
Yeah, she was special. Special. You're right. You're exactly right. What a skill set. Oh my
I want
day.
to hear Clem. I've heard. I want to hear his reaction to any of my five.
I'm waiting. Don't worry. I'm done talking. I'm waiting for him too.
Oh man, let's see.
I
Fuck.
didn't know. I didn't know you had any reaction to any of my five.
No, I
So,
did. Oh shit. So basically, wow.
so like I said, we Gen Z
Man,
in
the Kimberly
common.
fights are just so fucking
Yes.
iconic. Like, man, I feel bad that I didn't remember those earlier, but
Oh,
yeah, god damn, that's a good pick.
he got me. He got me. Oh my god.
What was your opinion of Sexy Wife or any of
It-
her fights?
you know what? I've watched maybe one. Um, like I didn't really follow her as a producer.
Okay.
Mm.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, and that's nothing against her. Just you know, I'm. It's not the same feel as like a Sweet Fights or an ECNWC or
Okay.
yeah, just I don't know. It just seems more slightly more tame.
That's fair. I think a lot of that is because of maybe the competition, for lack of a better
Mm.
Yeah,
term.
yeah, yeah. Like
But
it's
again, when you're dealing with local, you stuck with what you got. So
right, exactly,
Mm-hmm.
I
and
would
that you have to kind of keep it friendly too.
I would say the best case, I would say if I had to pick one match, actually there's three. The three fighters that I would say as far as skill level, the Little Rampage fight,
Yep.
the Gia Love fight,
Yep.
and the Paris fight,
Yep.
because those who can actually go, and she
Yep.
dusted
She does
all
it
three of
all
them,
of them.
all of them. Everybody else she fought was like one sided. It was like one sided match, just because
Yeah.
the other girls were just, and some of these girls were bigger than her or whatever.
It didn't matter. As you would say, it was a dusting. It was a beatdown. But the three he mentioned, between those three, those were three regarded people in the catfight industry, those three. Well, not Paris, but at least
No, Paris is no. Don't
Paris
do
is
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, Paris done put in the work. Nope. No. No. I will not hear of it. After she did the fight with Vika, everything after that, she done put in the work. She done got no, no. We're not doing that. Dude, she put in the work. So,
I'm talking about before Vika. I'm talking about before.
but even before Vika, she put in the work to get to that point. Look at all the fights that she had. Again, some of the stuff who's available. And when you're 5'10" and 150
Yep.
pounds, you ain't got a lot of people to pick
Ooh,
from.
that's a good point. See, like
You ain't
that's
got a
kind of
lot of people to pick from, bro.
that's what I was saying earlier. Is that like in with my preference of like trying to find very close to size girls,
But
it's fucking hard. Like
Mm,
I've had to fly people in from different states.
wow.
Yeah.
and the thing that I will say, because this is to this point, Clem, look how Paris was a fighter before that match, and Paris as a fighter after that match versus Sexy White. Sometimes you got to get taken to the deep, and once you get taken to the deep, either it's gonna be the best thing that ever happened to you, or you just be like, you know what, I can't do this, and you
Yeah.
just will.
Yeah. And they'll just kind
Every
of
fighter, I
stop
don't
it.
care how good you are, every fighter had that one fight. They got taken to the deep,
Mm,
and usually what you do is on your next fight, take them to the deep. Like Kerry did with Reagan, how Reagan did with Peyton, how Peyton
oh,
did with Patience, how
yep.
Patience did. You got that one fight, you get taken out of the deep, and
Gotcha.
you got to learn you just sink or swim.
Gotcha.
Valor, you got as it all comes out. Kim Lee took so many girls out to the deep. I remember the one time when Luna beat her, and I thought I'd never see that day. Luna destroyed. Like one day, Luna made up in her mind, I'm coming to get her. And Luna,
Wow.
because Luna was always bigger and more talented, but Luna could
Mm,
never seem to put it together
mm,
when it mattered. The one day, Luna finally put it all together and just dusted Kim Lee. It was just a dusting.
wow.
It's hard to do it every day. Heck, Patrick Mahomes, we just seen in the Super Bowl yesterday.
Oh
Patrick
yeah.
Mahomes got dusted. There's a
Yep.
day everybody get caught. One day,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
hard. You stay in there long enough, you gonna get a miler. All of them, everybody that got caught at least one.
Gotcha.
If you ain't got caught, then that means you didn't do much. That means you had like less than 3 fights. That's the only way you could get out and not get
Oh,
caught. You had to do at least
that's a
three.
good point. That's true.
And even three ain't enough. Everybody get caught. Everybody get caught one good time.
Didn't we say 5 fights is enough?
I say you need a 6 pack.
6. Okay.
Pack win at 4
Okay.
within the 3 year period. Because to be honest, it's hard to find girls that's going to do it more than
Yeah.
2 years, 3 years at the most.
Yeah, I agree.
They're moving on with their life. You know, find a dude, get married or something. Whatever. Get a new job or get a promotion on a job.
Do we have one more question for our guest?
Last but not least, is catfighting a fetish or a sport?
Yeah.
Both. Some girls approach this with the same intensity as they would any other sport. But guys, I mean, it's a fetish. Like for the guys that like watching it, it's a fetish. For the girls that fight, it's a sport.
It's, and that's similar to the answer. What was that? Varifia,
Yeah. Verify.
Via Fire had
She
said.
said the same thing.
She said roughly. She said for those of us participating, it's a sport. For those that's watching, fetish.
Yep.
So
She did
I
say
thought that
that.
was the best answer I had
We
heard
have
up
her.
until that point
Hmm.
because everybody kind of hems and haws on one side or the other. I think it's a sport with fetish elements. That's why I look at it.
Mm,
Yeah.
Um, especially now, if you want to do the scripted stuff, then when we talk about catfight in the spirit sense, I look at it as a sport because the day it made me come into that was there was a fight, um, and the one girl, it was a brunette fighting a dark hair, a black hair girl,
uh-huh.
raven hair girl. The raven hair
Oh.
girl said, "Yeah, I'm just here to get my money. I'm just here have a good showing to get my money, and I look forward to putting on a great show. The brunette girl was like, "Man, I'm just here to kick ass," and she said, "And I'm gonna get paid to do it." Oh, that's just bonus on the cake. And we knew right there, oh, we know who's gonna win. And the brunette wailed. Like I mean, it was so bad. The fight didn't even go past one round. The raven hair girl threw in the towel because she was just in it
Slaughtered.
for the money. Whereas the other girl, she's like, "Oh, I just love the fight." She's like, "And I get paid for it." Oh, that's about it. We knew right
Mindset
there.
and
Yep,
Yep.
mentality.
done.
Mindset and mentality and catfighting, man. Two different things, right? Like you said, some people they have it, and some people, you know, that's another thing.
Yep. So
I mean, some people take it as like just something to pay the month's rent with, and some girls take it as a legitimate sport, like a sense of pride.
yes, yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go ahead and wrap up this episode, and then we're going to go into our infamous sidebar. Um, yeah,
He's
so
right. It is
I
infamous.
have the contact information for Mr. Johnson Rojas here on the stage. I'm trying to make sure if we had any questions, trying to make sure. I don't see any. No, no. Okay, cool.
All right,
All
cool.
right. And I would say I'll go ahead and put my contact info. I'm on X and IG for today. To the end of the year, man. At least it's on there today. You know, Clem, you always keep laughing about that.
I have to laugh because you keep saying you're on IG today. We don't never know with you, man. Clem
Right.
underscore aka UFO on IG and Clem aka UFO on X. IG, I'm always on IG. I'm not taking that out anytime soon. All
Okay.
right, our next show is February 24th, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Scheduled tentatively
Tentatively
February
scheduled.
20th.
Yes.
And so, like, yeah, let me
Go
update
ahead, take it
this.
away. Go ahead and take it away.
I'm trying to make sure this show. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 24th. Again, happy Valentine's Day to all the fighters, all the ladies, all the producers and ladies,
Hmm.
like Tilly and Lady O and all the other ones out, Reagan,
All of
all of
them.
them out there. Salute to all Sarah Brooks, salute to all of y'all on what we do. I guess the name of our that's our way of showing love for, in this season. So, um, um, three blowhards sitting up talking about it in three different time zones. Sitting
Correct.
up here talking shop. But
Thank you
um,
both.
yep, all right. But Johnson, stay on that bar. You got anything else? I guess you can go ahead and do the outro, and
Nope,
then
I
we.
got nothing, man. I got
Okay.
nothing. This has been a very good show. I got nothing.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, live from the parts unknown. It is Clement Call Show every second for Mondays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central. I know we always skip over Mountain, but they need love too.
7:30,
7:30
7:30
p.m.
Mountain,
Mountain. What is it?
6:30 Pacific,
6:30 Pacific. What is it?
and 4:30
5:30
Hawaiian.
Alaskan and like 4:30 Hawaiian, something like
4:30
that.
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian,
5:30
man, you
Alaskan.
still get to watch this before the sun go down.
Bingo.
All right. Until next time, we will see you guys later.